Israel Adesanya has revealed details of his conversation with Alex Pereira following his knockout loss to the Brazilian in the UFC 281 main event. Adesanya suffered his first UFC defeat at 185 pounds after leading on all three judges' scorecards entering the final round. Welcome back to MMA Galaxy, where we provide interesting facts and news about MMA and boxing. Before getting into it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when we post a new video. Adesanya was released after being briefly detained in the United States on Wednesday, local time, for possessing a weapon. The 33-year-old New Zealand fighter was allegedly passing through security when he was discovered to be carrying metal knuckle dusters, which are illegal in the state of New York. Tim Simpson, Adesanya's manager, told TMZ Sports that the brass knuckles were given to him as a gift, which he promptly discarded. Israel received a gift from a fan, which he placed in his luggage. When the item was flagged at the airport, Israel promptly disposed of it and cooperated with authorities, he said. Simpson claims that the former champion is returning to New Zealand. He has complied. Accordingly, the matter has been dismissed, and he is on his way home, he explained. Israel Adesanya was in the United States for UFC 281, where he lost his title after being knocked out by Brazilian Alex Pereira. The UFC champion was knocked out in the fifth round of the title fight at Madison Square Garden. In the final round of their fight, Pereira pushed forward constantly before unleashing a stunning barrage of finishing strikes. Adesanya protested the stoppage immediately after the fight was stopped, telling referee Mark Goddard that he was still in it. Pereira could have possibly ended Adesanya's career if the referee did not intervene, Zahabi said on his YouTube channel. Guys, if the referee didn't intervene, a scissor knee was coming. Alex Pereira has the best scissor knee I've ever seen in combat sports. It's an incredible knee from a giant who's incredibly explosive. He throws it extremely fast. I thought the knee was coming when Adesanya was dazed like that. The fight stopped in the fifth round after Pereira unleashed a barrage of brutal shots with no response from the defending champion. Adesanya kept his head down and avoided shots, which Zahabi believes could have ended disastrously. If Mark Goddard had not intervened, it could have been a serious concussion, broken jaw, broken orbital, or fractured skull. He continued, "It could have ruined or terminated Adesanya's professional career, so I'm grateful to Mark Goddard for putting a stop to it." Since then, Adesanya has stated that the Brazilian has won the fight, despite the fact that he has stated that he is not completely out of the fight. "You won another battle, but the war continues. The hunter is now the hunted, and the game isn't over," Adesanya wrote on Instagram on Monday. The two rivals had previously met in kickboxing several years ago, with the Brazilian defeating Adesanya both times. Pereira had only fought 3 times in the UFC before being given the opportunity to fight for the championship belt. Despite rumors that the UFC might offer former champion Robert Whittaker the next title shot in the middleweight division, Adesanya stated that he would like to immediately rematch Pereira sometime in 2023, regardless of who holds the belt. "I'm still going to fight him. I'd still fight him next if he was going to fight someone else and lose the belt. I'm going to fight him. I hope he's the champion, but I'm just saying that if he is, I'll still fight him. I'm insane, bro. I'm capable of defeating him. I'm confident I can beat him. You've seen how I can defeat him. He just invested well. I won't say luck. F luck. A sound strategy." Pereira now has an MMA victory over Adesanya to add to his 2 kickboxing victories before the pair switched sports. Adesanya's loss has pushed him down the pound-for-pound rankings from number 2 to number 8 on MMAfighting.com. Jake Paul told UFC President Dana White to suck his D after defeating Anderson Silva. On Saturday night, YouTuber-turned-boxer Paul, 25, extended his unbeaten record to 6 professional fights by winning a unanimous decision over UFC legend Silva after 8 hard-fought rounds. The victory was arguably Paul's best since making his professional debut 2.5 years ago, with the judges in Arizona scoring the fight 77-74, 78-73, and 78-73 in his favor after the final bell. White was forced to eat his words after predicting that Paul would not fight Silva last year. "I effing guarantee you this, Jake Paul isn't going to call Anderson Silva out," White said. "I effing promise you that. He's Jake's size and actually quite good, but he's old. And that's what Jake likes, fighting old guys who are too small and completely washed up." In response to White's remarks following his recent victory, Paul mocked the UFC president, saying, "Dana? Dana, you said I wouldn't do it, and I did it brilliantly. He's gone into hiding. He's doing everything he can to halt my run and sabotage my fights. He despises me. He despises what I'm doing. He hates that I'm exposing his business, so we're forming a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters. All MMA fighters and boxers get better fighter pay and long-term health care. That's a huge undertaking that I've wanted to do since I met Nakisa Badarian at the start of my career. I told him on the first day that I wanted to form a fighters union, so Dana White is capable of sucking this you-know-what." Over the past year, Paul has challenged White to improve conditions for UFC fighters, while White has maintained the feud by criticizing the caliber of Paul's opponents. White admitted earlier this year that Paul had a real fight on his hands with Silva, but he refused to discuss the fight further. After his victory over Silva, Paul will almost certainly face criticism from boxing fans because he has yet to face a real boxer. Despite having previously fought fellow content creator Anderson Gibb, NBA star Nate Robinson, and former MMA champions Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren before defeating Silva, Paul described his victory over Silva as something out of a movie, despite the fact that the UFC legend was one of his idols growing up. "This could not have been written in a story. It feels like a movie," he said. "Being in the ring with him and witnessing his heart, courage, and bravery, that is the champion I have admired. He is such an inspiration, and I had to go in there tonight and match his heart." Paulo Costa says the UFC offered a $500,000 four-fight contract to fight Robert Whittaker at UFC 284. The promotion needed 6 people. Costa liked the number but not the fights, so he said no, resulting in a stalemate that ended the fight and his UFC career. Costa said on Wednesday's MMA Hour that he wants new terms to fight Whittaker. "I won't fight for the same pay. Australia is excited. Australians are there. Great battle. $70,000 isn't enough. They refused to go higher. They claimed Dana White's lawyer, Hunter Campbell, said, 'We need a new 6-fight deal.' I said, 'No more 6 fights. I discuss it.' So true. 6 fights? I'm referring to the one who will face Whittaker, not the other 6. I'm confused. Not 6, but 1. I did this in 2017, and I'm still paying for it because I'm outdated." Costa says he agreed to fight Whittaker on February 12th only in principle. The fight was never sanctioned because they hadn't agreed on fair terms, not the $70,000 to show and $70,000 to win, guaranteed by his previous contract. The UFC announced the fight despite his protests pressuring him to sign. He said it had already happened. He updated it. Costa, "I told you the truth. A fake. No way." Costa said such tactics are part of hardball negotiations that disadvantage fighters, especially Brazilians. He believes Brazilian fighters' pride leads them to accept undervalued long-term contracts. "They offer Brazilians low numbers," he said. "Perhaps they think, oh, those mother truckers in Brazil live in the jungle. Their currency is 5 times less than $1, so let's pay them bull stuff." UFC didn't immediately comment. Costa gave up. He parted ways with Walid Ismail and defied UFC demands. Drama outside the cage, including a disastrous weight loss with Martin Vettori, may have hurt his case. He was steadfast. "At some point I should stop," he said. "But I didn't because Brazilians want to fight. We're indifferent. Okay, fight like that, they say. For the same money, we'll let you fight the number 5 fighter. We've done it for years, but it doesn't help athletes' business. The fighter's business suffers. You can't say yes. Someone once said, if you're good at something, don't do it for free or crappy money. My past work is enough." If the promotion was more flexible, Costa says the fight would be easy. Because it's not, he's stuck until his contract expires. If not for the UFC's antitrust lawsuit, Costa would have been sidelined indefinitely for rejecting opponents. A sunset clause limited the duration of his promotion. He'll be free in March 2023. Costa said UFC 284 is off because it's too close for a proper camp. He's willing to fight Whittaker or another opponent in March if the promotion offers him the right numbers. $500,000 to fight Whittaker seems fair. If there's a bump, he's in. Costa said, "I'll do another, but for my pay, unranked or lower-ranked guy, I'd like to fight Whittaker, but they should negotiate first because Hunter just says take or leave. We're not negotiating." Please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more weekly MMA and boxing news. Until next time, peace.